Hello everyone, my name is Elio Nunez, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create this small animation in Photoshop so you can advertise or show anything on your social media. Let's go straight into it. Let's open Photoshop, then we're going to change the file. The size in pixels is going to be 720 by 720. The resolution is going to be 72. The color mode is going to be RGB because you're going to use it for printing purpose. And probably you're gonna see the Instagram posts are 1080 by 1080, but in this case we're gonna use 720 by 720, so the artwork is not too heavy, for your computer. So after that you're gonna press create. You're gonna have this square canvas. That's the way that almost all social media works, right? And then after that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna select the plane that I'd include a link on the description below. You download the plane, you're gonna drop it in the middle of the canvas like this. All right, then after that you just press all right, just press OK. Then let me just drag the plane, move a little bit to the top like this, and we are gonna create a shape, the shape in the bottom. Okay, so to have a nice and colorful post, we are gonna select the background. It's not necessary, but in this case I want the shapes to be on top of the background. And selecting the background, you're gonna create a new layer. You can create it here in this symbol. Don't forget to create it, because if you don't create it, you're gonna create the layer on top of the background. Then after that you won't be able to animate it. All right, unless you create a copy, but it's okay. We're gonna create the layer, a new layer. You can name the layers if you want, in this case, to make it a little quicker the tutorial. I'm not gonna name anything. Okay, we are gonna just select the pen tool after that, and we're gonna click outside. You click it, and this click, you're not gonna hold it. You're gonna click outside the canvas, just right here, and you're just gonna lose your click. After that, you're gonna click inside the canvas, just right here, and you're gonna hold that click. All right, then it's gonna appear like a guide that you can just move top and the bottom, like this, and you're gonna just drag it just a little bit like this. And then after that, you're gonna create a new you're gonna click again, just right here, and drag the click again. All right, it doesn't matter if you don't create it that perfect, because you can move the points afterwards. Okay, so just like that, and then I'm gonna create another click outside the canvas, just right here in the bottom, outside the canvas, not inside the canvas. Then after that, I'm gonna create a new one just right here, and then after that I'm gonna close it. All right, so in order to close this, it's supposed to have this symbol like this, the pen symbol, and then a circle, a small circle next to it. Then you click just right there, and then after that we are gonna select the direct selection tool, or press 8 on our keyboard, and then we are gonna select this point. I'm just gonna move it a little bit to the center, because the shape, it looks like a little weird. All right, just right here. That's a good way, like you can move and fix stuff after you create it, so it doesn't matter if you just make like a totally wrong shape. Okay, you can fix it afterwards. So I already have my shape. After that, what I'm gonna do is, I have the layer ready. This is gonna be orange. Let's just name it. Okay, it's gonna be the orange shape. What I do is right click here on the canvas, then fill path. After that, I'm gonna, even if it's color selected here, I'm gonna do double click here. All right, if it's not selected, if it has another option selected, you select color, it's gonna pop up this small window. Okay, after that, you're gonna select this orange, all right, to the plane. Just drag your cursors on top of the plane and just click here. Okay, let me just select OK here and OK here. It's already filled. So after that, I'm gonna create another one. You know, let me just create a new layer, and in these layers I'm gonna name it gray. All right, let me just press enter. I create a new layer. I'm gonna just do a click just right here until appears all the lines, this point that I want to move. I'm gonna move it a little bit to the bottom, a little bit down. You know, it doesn't need to be like that far. After you select this point, you just drag it a little bit to the little bit down like this, and then you lose it. Then right click, fill path, double click here if color is selected, or you select color again, and I select this gray on the plane. All the colors are gonna be selected from the plane. Okay, and I press OK. I have the gray already. Then create a new layer, and this one, let me just name it blue. And I'm gonna repeat the same process that I did with the gray one. Okay, I'm gonna drag this a little bit to the bottom, a bit down. My computer is kind of slow. Just right here. Just right here. Okay, I'm gonna right click, fill path, color, and select. I'm gonna select this blue. Alright, okay, and okay. I already have everything created, all my layers. I'm gonna select the move tool, and then I'm gonna press delete to delete this points that I'm not gonna use it. Alright, let me just name plane, airplane. So I already have all my layers created, and it's gonna be much better that way. Let me see here. Yeah, I have all my layers created. Right now I'm gonna select, I'm gonna create the title. Let me just select the text tool and write down here, sail first, taking off now. Sail first, taking off now. Let me select, which one? Okay, I know already which one I'm gonna use. It doesn't matter which one you use, you know. Which font you use, it doesn't matter. You know, as long as you create the artwork and then you create the animation, that's the point of this tutorial. All right. Let me just drag it a little bigger, just right there, and press OK. After having that, let me just move the plane a little up because it's too close to the shape. You know, just right here, and let me copy and paste this text. I just select it here, and what you can do is just press Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and then it's gonna create a copy of the layer. Alright, or in this case you can press Alt and then grab it and drop it, like drag and drop. Alright, with the Alt press and then holding the click. I'm gonna just drop it here in the bottom, double click to change the text, and I'm gonna change the text for limited time sale. Limited time sale. Gonna change the font. Let me change it here for this one and make it bigger. It's an easy tutorial to follow. You know, you don't need to have previous experience in using Photoshop, but it's gonna be much better though, because you're gonna be more familiar with the tools and everything that you use. So after creating this text, I'm gonna change the color. It's too big like this. Let me just leave it like this. Okay, it's okay like this. Let me change the color. You can either change the color here or just on top of here. If you don't have the same like the for lack of a better word, if you don't have the the artwork, the program arranged this way, it doesn't matter, as long as you can create the file, the artwork, and do the animation. All right, first of all, we start creating the file, creating the design. If you have the design already created, so it's gonna be easier for you just to animate it. Okay, and you can start making money, even selling animated stuff for social media, advertise, a better way to advertise someone else's product. So let me just write down here the price, 69. We're gonna change the symbol price, probably smaller. Let me see. Oh, I created a new layer. No. Alright, let's just move this price to the left, to the right, sorry, and then just gonna change make the symbol price smaller, selecting only this part, and then selecting this option on the text and character, like the super script. And then we are gonna change, I'm gonna change the font, only the symbol font. You don't need to do this, as I said. It's just I just wanted this to look a little much better. All right, let's make this the price bigger, really big, because the price is the things that you want people to see. Let me just move it a little down. Thing right here is okay. You can create guides in order to arrange your file, or align your file much better. In this case, I didn't do it because I didn't want it to not to waste time doing it. I want the tutorial to be shorter, not too long. All right, after that, we're gonna copy and and paste the limited time sale text just on top of the 69. Alright, just like this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna write down one way as low as. One way as low as. Alright, then the paragraph, and we're gonna align everything to the right, the whole paragraph, and just put on top of the price and make it smaller, of course. You don't need to have a powerful computer to do this kind of animations, you know. So it's okay like this. Alright, I already created the artwork. Let's add a background so it doesn't look too plain. Alright, just go to background, create a new layer again. Let me put here background, of course. Or what you can do is just copy or duplicate the background layer, you know. I should have duplicated, but I didn't. So just select the bucket tool and just click on the background just to fill the background, any color. I select the light blue, and then when you have it, you just double click, gradient overlay. So it's gonna have the blue is gonna just gradient up to the white. So it's gonna have that gradient, from blue to white, so it doesn't look too strong. All right, I have already created the artwork. Right now we're gonna do this, animate this. All right, so for this process, what we're gonna do is we have everything created already, and now we're gonna go to Window here, save first, save your file, because you can lose it if your computer just got freeze or something, I don't know. So just go to Window and then Timeline. When you go to Timeline, here in the bottom you're gonna see this that says the Create Video Timeline. Okay, you're gonna press Create Video Timeline. This is the timeline. This is where you're gonna animate your video. It's not animated. If you see, this is like the play button. If you press the play button, you won't see anything there. All right. If you hear background noise, it's my kid just playing. All right. So don't worry about it. Here you can see this. It's like a bar that where all the animation is gonna be. All right. Is the timeline. Almost all the animation video editing programs has the timeline. All right. If you don't know about it, you're gonna learn a little bit, but I won't explain it, too deep. All right. After creating the timeline, you're gonna go here in the menu and going to set timeline frame rate. The frame rate for animation much better is 24. That's the common usually animators use 24, the frame rate. Okay, just press OK. Right now I have a timeline created for 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 23. All right. If you want to make it longer, you can drag this one by one layers and make it longer, anything you want. But in this case, we're gonna just work with this part. And what I want here is just to animate the first 2 seconds and then the other 2 seconds to be like showing the artwork. All right, because you don't want to be like everything animated and then when it ends to disappear, so people won't be able to read the advertise or the ad, you know. So just let's move the here to 2 seconds. I guess it's okay like that. All right, and what we are gonna do is to go to each frame here and press transform. Transform is like, you know, all these options here that you see when you just drop down this line here, these options that appears, each layer that it has options, those options that has the clock next to it is where you can create the keyframe. A keyframe is a point where the animations ends or begins. It's like it's a point when you record a movement. You know, you're gonna learn more of that eventually. All right, so you can animate the transformation, make it bigger, smaller, or move it, you know, everywhere you want. The opacity, you know, make it transparent, or, you know, to show it. The style and the text warp. In this case, I'm just gonna animate the transformation, the transform. But it's gonna be like the movement in this case. Let me just select each one. Here you can make it bigger, so you can see here you can see what you are doing much better. I'm gonna do almost on each one the transformation, create a transformation point. All right, let me do it in the blue shape, you know, the orange shape also. And the background, what I'm gonna animate is the opacity. I'm not gonna animate the position. I'm just gonna want the background, you know, to appear, right? So I'm just click the opacity. So what we are gonna do is animate from the end to the beginning, from the end to the start, for lack of a better word. It's gonna be much better because this way you want your file ends. All right, so how you want it to begin? Let's just move this line a couple frames. Like if you start like in 2 seconds, just move it like in 1 second or less. Like for example, just right here, a couple of frames, you know. And let's animate the title first. Okay, what you're gonna do is right now you select the title, you grab it and move it up outside the canvas, of course. You see, just right here. All right, you can move it a little down, just right there. All right, so it creates already a point here. If you see this layer, when you move it, automatically it's gonna create a point. If it doesn't create a point, what you can do is you just select here, you move it and select here the point. If it doesn't create it automatically, I have it automatically, so in this case, if I move it to the top, it's gonna create the point. All right, so that means that from this point, the start point that is on the top, all right, is gonna move to the end point that is in the bottom, and it's gonna create like a interpolation animation, like a movement from the top to the bottom. That's the animation that creates, if you see here. Okay, and I would like not to start because I'm gonna lose all this, like 1 second and something. I'm gonna lose it without having any animation. I want to start that from the beginning, so I select these 2 points, select 1 point, then press shift and select the other point and drag it just right here. So when I press play, that's the first animation that is gonna appear. Okay, Then after that, I'm gonna animate the plane. I select the plane here or here, and then I'm gonna drag it outside. I'm gonna select the plane. This is the plane layer. Gonna grab and just drop it outside the canvas to the left, because I want the animation to be like this. All right, so right here is much better. All right, so I'm gonna just move this to be closer. All right, and then I'm gonna select these 2 points, of the plane, and I'm gonna move it just right in the middle of this animation. All right, the first point of the first keyframe of the airplane to be in the middle of the two keyframes of the title. I think that way it looks fine. That way it looks fine. All right, I have already the plane animated and the title animated. What I want to animate right now, if you want to pre-visualize, to see, to preview what you have done, you can drag this. All right, because if you press play, it's gonna fill all the animation up to the 4 seconds. Okay, so what you can do is drag this and just move it where you create the animations, and then press play. It's gonna fill only this part. All right, as you can see, now you press play and you see the animation. Just right there. All right, so right now what we are gonna do is we are gonna select these 3 layers, the blue, gray, and orange together. Okay, and what we are gonna do is we are gonna move it just right there. This is the blue keyframe, gray keyframe, orange keyframe. I'm gonna create another keyframe just right there. Okay, I'm gonna drag it, all of them, and drop it and move it to the bottom outside the canvas. All right, so it's gonna just go up when I want. Let me see. All right, that way. So I would like to be a little more dynamic. In that case, what I want to do is just to drag the orange one and move it just a little behind of the gray one. Okay, like the last keyframe of the orange one to be in the middle of the 2 keyframes of the orange of the gray one, and then select the gray one also pressing shift, so I have the 4 points selected, and move it doing the same thing just right there. Okay, almost in the middle. I want to be the gray animation to be a little more faster. To make the animation faster, you just have to put closer the 2 keyframes, the 2 dots. Okay, just right there. So if I press play right now, let me just open a little bit more this. Let me select this 6 point of the shapes, make it a little more just right there. Let me see the animation right now. Right. All right, I have already that small animation. Okay, we are almost finished. Let me just move a little more just right there, because I want when the plane is like moving just that way, I want the animation in the bottom, you know, almost just like that right there. Right, let me see. Yeah, it's much better like this. Okay, let's let's do another step. Let's go to the background. The background is the first one, of course. So I want the background appears just right here, for example, and I press here a keyframe on the opacity, and then go to the beginning, and then the opacity here I put it 0. Alright, if you see, it's gonna go from white to the background. Okay, yeah, I already animated that. I'm gonna animate the limited time sale text. So when it comes just right here, let me select this text to see where the layers at. Let me see. Okay, it's just right here. Okay, I have the point, the keyframe to be just right there. Let me just move it a little, just right here. I'm gonna make the animation here, and it's gonna come from this from the left. You can select whatever you want to be the text coming from, you know. Okay, right now I'm gonna select these 2 points, and I'm gonna move it, let me see, that way. Yep, I don't want to hit the gray color, so if you see, it doesn't hit the gray color. Alright, it's good like this. Then we are gonna animate the 69 price. We're gonna select the 69. Let me see where is the layer. It's just right here. Let me move this just right here and drag to the left, to the right, in this case, just right here. All right, and I want to be animated just right to the other one. Okay, all right, and lastly we are gonna animate the one way as low as, but this one I want to be animated from top to the bottom, but it's gonna look weird, like crossing across the in front of the plane, and you know, gonna look a little weird. So in this case, what I'm gonna do, this is the layer, I'm gonna drag this point just right here, and let me see, I'm gonna drag it to the top, just where the plane is. Okay, just where the airplane is. Right now I have it like that. Okay, but it looks like weird. I can create like a opacity animation, and then just appears, you know, when it gets to that point, and I can do that, you know, and it's gonna work. But in this case I would like to create a mask, so it's gonna come inside the blue shape. All right, it's a little more advanced, but I would like, you know, to show that you know, from now, so you have an idea what you can create here on Photoshop. Okay, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna select the blue layer, the blue shape. All right, and then when you select the blue shape, you're gonna press Alt. When you press you press Control on your keyboard. Okay, when you press Ctrl, you see if you come in the square of the layer, it's gonna appear like this selection tool. All right, so you just click to the blue layer like this, and it's gonna select the blue part only. Okay, after that, what you're gonna do is you just select the text that you want to create a mask. That's the one that is named one way as low as, and then after that you just have to press add layer mask. That's it. It already has the animation. So what I created was I created a mask that this text is gonna just be shown inside of the blue shape. If you see here, all the black part, it won't show anything, just the white part. So if I go back, anything is there. You see? So when the blue shape appears, it appears part of the text. So let's play star to see how it reacts, how it looks like. Okay. Let's press play it again. All right, it's already fine. We already finished, you know. Last, I want this plane to be like, I don't want the whole 4 seconds animation. I'm gonna make it shorter, you know. But you can, you know, select the part that you want to export as a video, you know, from here to there or anything. I'm just gonna export like, let me see, probably like 3 seconds or something like that. All right, it doesn't need to be that long. So after that, after you just select the area that you want to export, or if you want to export the whole thing, in this case I'm just gonna select this part. Let me see if I cover all the animations. Oh, I'm missing this one. Yeah, I covered the whole animation. I'm just gonna go here, all right, and render video. I'm gonna pierce this square. I'm gonna name it airplane. Tutorial. Okay, I'm gonna select the folder that I'm gonna export it. You can select this, it's okay. The format, this one H.264 is okay. Preset HD 720 is okay. Precise is this one. You don't need to be precise. You have to select, if you want, you select only document size, because if you select preset size, it's gonna have like the two square. It's gonna have like two square strips on the side of the video, so you don't want that. You just select document size, that is 720 by 720. All right. The frame rate is okay, and I just want to export the frame area. In total, it has 119 frames. In this case, I just want to export 71 frames, you know, to make the video shorter. You just press enter, render in this case, and then it's gonna export the video in the format that you can reproduce in your computer or load it on social media or anything you want. Okay, well, that's the end of the video. Hope you like it. Subscribe please. So I know that I'm always saying that I'm gonna upload more videos, but I've been too busy lately. But at the moment, I'm, you know, trying to upload at least one video per week. Okay. After you export the video, you're just gonna appear here, and here it is. This video is like less than 1 megabyte, so it's not too heavy, you know. So here it is the video ready. You can upload it for your social media and hope you like it. Okay.